In this video, we're going to show you how to convert a standard Windows print queue into an output manager queue. We're going to do that using the device wizard. To access the device wizard, we'll go up to the Tools menu and select Device Wizard. We're going to go ahead and convert Windows queues on one or more print servers and hit Next. And it just has us selecting our server. We'll just hit Next. And we're going to go ahead and do a complete conversion, which means it's going to automatically create a corresponding Output Manager source object as well as a destination object. So I'll leave that selected and click Next. Now it's asking me what file store is going to be associated with this Windows queue. And so I'll go ahead and leave that and click Next. And it shows me the queues that are available for conversion. Now I've got a couple printers out there. If I want to go ahead and convert all of them, I would just select all these checkboxes and in the drop-down switch to Convert. If I select multiple ones and then hit this Convert, then it will go ahead and save me from having to hit the drop-down 3 more times. If I don't want to convert all of these print queues to being Output Manager objects, then I simply just do not select them. For instance, in an executive office, perhaps you do not want to convert that printer into an Output Manager queue. So we'll just go ahead and select the one in the break room and hit Next. And it just asks again about how many printers need to be converted. And we'll hit OK. And our log informs us that this went successfully. We'll hit Close. Finish again. And now if we just take a look at our sources and expand that a little bit, now we see the break room printer showing up in all sources as well as in our destinations. And that's how you use the device wizard to convert your standard Windows queues. In this video, we are going to set up printer pooling. Printer pooling allows us to have multiple queues available to process secure print jobs. Having multiple queues instead of a single queue will streamline the processing of print jobs, thus allowing a faster job to be processed simultaneously with another job that may need a longer time to process, instead of having to wait until after. For this demo, we will create 3 print queues. But if you have hundreds of users that have need for more failover, of course you will need to create more. Another thing to note is that as we create print queues, the opposite order from what we create is the usage order. This is a Microsoft rule, not Output Manager. So since we like to see jobs use Q1, then Q2, and so on, to do so, we will need to begin by setting up the highest number queue first. And for us, that will be number 3. So within the printer area of print management, I'm going to right-click and say Add Printer. And we are going to create a new port and add a new printer. And we're going to use the NSI Job Monitor. And hit Next. I have already captured the text, so I am just pasting it. You may want to do this, especially if you have a lot of these to set up. I only have 3, but I'm a lousy typist. So we're going with our highest numbered queue first. So Secure Print 3. And then we are going to use an existing driver. We're going to use the Universal PostScript driver. And hit Next. And again, I'll paste my text. Plug in the 3. And hit Next. And we're going to add another printer. Again, create a new port and add a new printer. Drop down to number 2. select the driver. After a few of these, you get really good. Number 2 is still what we're on. And then that one is finished. We're going to add another printer. Again, all right, and we're ready for secure print number 1. And use, again, the universal postscript driver. And its matching printer name. And we have one more print queue to create. And this time we are not going to create a new port. We're just going to add a new printer using an existing port. And that port can be any one of the 3 that we had previously created. Secure print 1, 2, or 3, it doesn't matter. So we'll go ahead and pick the first one and hit next. And the existing printer driver will still be the same, the NSI Universal PostScript driver. That part will stay the same all the way through. And we are going to give this one just the name Secure Print. And we are going to share this printer. We'll go ahead and have the name match and hit next. Okay, now this time we can say finish. Now what that last print queue allows us to do is actually have it be our main queue that will go ahead and direct traffic towards those other 3. So at this point we need to select that print queue and we will go to Properties. I used a right click to get there. And we will go to the Ports tab. And if you recall, when we set up this print queue, we associated it with the first print queue. I'll widen this so you can see the whole name. So there's Secure Print 1 that it was associated with, but we want to do printer pooling. So I can't switch around what ports I select. If I wanted to select all 3 of these, when I went to select on the second one, it would disappear out of Secure Print 1. In order to be able to do that, I need to first select Enable Printer Pooling. And that allows me to now select also Secure Print 2 and Secure Print 3. And that's it for the setup within Print Management. We'll go ahead and hit OK. And one thing I'd like you to see, I'm going to click on Ports now. And if I scroll down to where the 3 queues were that we created, you'll see Secure Print 1, 2, and 3. But one key thing to note is that the print queues that it will use is the Secure Print queue. And then it would revert to itself. But by using the Secure Print queue, it's actually accessing 3 possibilities for a print queue, since this one points to 3. So that is unique. You don't see that in other printer name fields where there are 2 options, and in this case it's actually 3 options here. Our next step is in Output Manager, so I'm going to minimize Print Management. Okay, in Output Manager, what we'll do first is we're going to the Sources tab, and we're going to right-click on All Sources, and we're going to create a new group. And this new group we'll call Secure Print. And then within that group, we're going to create a new source. And under Type, having a single device, I'm going to increase that number to 3. You would have it match however many queues you ended up creating. And I'll hit OK. And then I will go ahead and change the name. We'll widen this so we can see the full name. And coming in here, I'll go ahead and try pasting. So there's Secure Print 1. One thing I'd like to show you while we're here, you'll notice there's these check boxes in front of your cue or source names. If I were to select all of them and then just put my cursor in one of the boxes as if I was going to edit it, you'll notice that this box down here, Series Fill, comes up. If you're creating multiple cues, you will like this button. Series Fill gives you the ability to create the text that would be before the numerical piece and then indicate what the starting value is, what the intervals will be, and then what the minimum length. So I have a 1-digit number, that's why this is at 1. If I had so many sources or print cues that I needed to order them by 01, 02, 03, then I would just go ahead and extend this to a 2 so that it would automatically have the placeholder of 0 preceding the digit if necessary. And then I could also flip it and have text after the counter. So whichever way I would like to do it, this series fill can really make this job a great deal easier if you have a ton of these sources to create. I'm not going to go ahead and use this since I'm already pretty much done with mine, but I thought that might be helpful for those of you that have to create quite a few of these. All right, the next thing we need to do is go into Windows Queue settings. And this is where I want to associate each port with its corresponding source. So I will go ahead and select Secure Print 1, then Secure Print 2, and then Secure Print 3. And it's always good to go ahead and widen so that you do see the full name. It's really easy with these check boxes to accidentally have a particular one checked and be editing 2 of these rows at the same time. So before you save everything by hitting OK, just double check, make sure all your corresponding associations are accurate. All right, our associations have been made. Let's hit OK. Let's go ahead and do a test print. So we're going to go back into Print Management to run a test print. And we'll go to Printers. And we're just going to use our shared queue, our pooled queue. And we'll do a right click and Print Test Page. And it says that a test page has been sent to our printer. We'll minimize this. And we see that our test page has shown up. It has spooled into our Secure Print source, and it is being routed to Secure Print 1, as Secure Print 1 was the last one that we created. So bear that in mind as you create your print queues. Start with the highest number that you're going to have, work your way down, and then it will go ahead and use them in numerical order when the time comes for you to spool. And that concludes this video.